Let's work on example number 3 on page 154. Example number 3. Write an expression showing A divided by B without the use of the division symbol. So how can we use it? How can we write the expression without the division symbol? Okay, and one way is you use your fraction, because they're asking you not to use the division symbol, and you have the little bar for the fraction. We said a fraction is the same thing as dividing. Next question. Write an expression for G divided by the quantity H plus 3. Before we do any of this, let's just kind of highlight keywords that are going to help us. They're going to help us identify the symbols that we're going to be using for. So let's do divided. That's a keyword that represents a symbol, and the word plus. Okay, so let's write it. We're going to say write the expression for G. So let's do G divided by the quantity of H, so the quantity H plus 3. That would be one way. Or the other way, if we wanted to use it without the division symbol, it would be something like the G divided by the quantity of H plus 3. Both ways will be the same expression. Let's look at the next question. Write an expression for the quotient of the quantity M reduced by 3 and 5. Let's take a few seconds here to underline keywords that represent a symbol in our expression. Well, quotient we said is division, and it's reduced. We interpret that as a subtraction. So it's the quotient M of the quantity M reduced by 3 and 5. So of the quantity reduced 3 and 5. You can also write it like if you wanted to write it using the division symbol, it would be M reduced by 3 divided by 5. And in this case, we might be using the parentheses to emphasize the quantity M reduced by 3. Okay, let's go to the next exercise here. Hopefully this makes more sense to you. Exercises. The directions are: write each expression 2 ways, using the division symbol and as a fraction. So basically it's going to be the same thing as we did on top. Notice that on top we did the extra work because we wanted to make sure that we know how to do it both ways. So let's look at it one more time here. 12 divided by 4. And I know the word divided, that one is very obvious. Keep in mind we are writing it both ways. So it's going to be 12 divided by 4. That is one way. And 12 over 4 is the second way. Try to keep up with me as we're writing this so that we don't stay behind, okay? So let's do the next one. 3 divided by 5. Notice that we're going to start very simple. Okay, so try to keep up. 3 divided by 5 using the division symbol. Now let's look at the fraction. It's 3 divided by 5. Keep in order. The first number is always the one that goes on top, and the second number is the one that goes on the bottom. Okay, so it's your your dividend, your divisor, your dividend, your divisor. Okay, next one. A divided by 4. So we're starting to transition to using variables. A divided by 4, using a fraction, A divided by 4. So hopefully you get more confident as we go through, because we're going to start using expressions that can be a little more complicated. The quotient of 6 and m. Notice is the quotient, it's a division of 6 and m. So pay attention to the way that is written or expressed in there. The division 6 and m. The quotient 6 and m. Okay, because pretty soon we're going to be combining expressions with multiple operations. Okay, meaning you have division and subtraction, or division and addition like we did on the top. Okay, here we go. 7 divided by the quantity x plus y. Okay, take a few seconds to highlight your keywords. So 7 divided by the quantity x plus y. 7 divided by the quantity x plus y. That's one way. Using a fraction, 7 divided by the quantity of x plus y. That can be a little more complicated, but if you take it one part at a time, it makes more sense. The next one, it says y divided by the quantity x minus 7. Highlight your keywords, divided and minus. Y divided by the quantity of x minus 11. Now let's try the fraction. Y divided by the quantity of x minus 11. Okay. And if I'm going too slow, what you can do is try to do some by yourself, and then when you can get caught up with me and see if you did them right. Next one, the sum of the quantity h and 3 divided by 4. The sum of the quantity h and 3 divided by 4. So let's do our highlighting. There's the sum and the quantity divided by 4. So we are talking about an addition first of h and 3 divided by 4. Let's do the fraction. The sum of h and 3 divided by 4. So in some cases, one expression might make more sense to you than the next one. You decide. So just pay close attention to how you read it and the order, and that might really help you too. Let's look at the last one here from this page. The quotient of the quantity k minus 10 and m. One more time. The quotient of the quantity k minus 10 and m. Go back and highlight your keywords. That really might help you. And then minus. Some of these words are very obvious, right? So the quotient of the quantity k minus 10 and m. That's one way. And then let's do the other way. K minus 10 divided by m. So the quotient, meaning quotient, the division of the quantity k minus 10 and m. Okay, I hope you understand how the and separates where the division is, right? Okay, fantastic.